Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I will be talking about Prophet Muhammad's marriage with Aisha and Muslims' terrible arguments for it. As many of you already know, Prophet Muhammad married Aisha when she was 6 years old and consummated it when she was 9 years old. This would obviously disgust any sane person today. But when it comes to some Muslims, it's not the case. You've definitely seen countless videos of people being against it. But unfortunately, many Muslims will try everything they can to justify it. And if you don't agree with them, they will send you death threats, try to dox you, and probably stab you. This is the kind of world we live in. Their arguments for Muhammad's marriage with Aisha are horrible. I'm very familiar with some of them, because I've seen them on the internet or in my daily life in Malaysia. Here are some of them. Number 1. Aisha wasn't 9 when she married Muhammad. This is, in fact, not true. In Sahih al-Bukhari 5134, it clearly shows us that she married the Prophet when she was 6 years old, and he consummated it when she was 9 years old. Sahih al-Bukhari is a very authentic Islamic source. Why are Muslims trying to deny their own sources when they have the proof of her age when she got married right here? Even in Malaysian schools, we're taught that Sahih al-Bukhari is authentic, and many other Muslims agree that she got married at this age, and they even admit it. Number 2. Aisha was a mature girl back then. If you believe that at the age of 6, Aisha was mature enough to make a huge life decision, like marrying someone, then you don't understand how little children's brains work. Even though she grew up in a harsh environment, which is in the desert, her brain was not fully developed yet. She was obviously not ready for it, but she didn't know anything. Her parents who believed in the Prophet just gave her to him. Even worse, the Prophet had intercourse with her. In Sahih al-Bukhari 6130, it shows us that she used to play with dolls with her friends. But the Prophet just had to ruin the fun. Playing with dolls is somehow forbidden. But she was allowed to, because it clearly says that she was a little girl at that time, and not a grown woman like some Muslims claim her to be. As you can see, she was not a mature girl back then. Neither are all of the other little kids from the past or from today. She was just a little kid like we all used to be, who knew almost nothing about the world. She could tell right from wrong. And Muslims will see that and say that it is a sign of maturity, and say that the marriage was justified. Number 3. It was completely normal back then. Yes, I know that such marriages were normal back then. Child marriages, cousin or sibling marriages and polygamy were one of the many normal practices back then, especially among certain cultures. But, even though it was normal back then, Islam is supposed to be a timeless religion, with teachings that everyone must follow, because they come directly from Allah, who is supposed to be all-knowing and all-powerful. But apparently the all-knowing Allah doesn't know that this kind of marriage can traumatize children. He doesn't know that children are not mentally and physically prepared for such a thing. Muslims will argue that other historical figures married children too. But the difference between them and Muhammad is that you can learn from historical figures, but not follow some things they did. With Muhammad, on the other hand, he is viewed as the perfect human being among billions of people, someone who we should all take example of, and follow almost everything that he did in his life. There was this one time in class where my teacher said that these marriages were normal back then, and that even though the Prophet did it, he was still the perfect human being. Regardless of what he did, the thing that really bothered me, and still does today, is the fact that everyone in class agreed with what he said, and no one in class dared to criticize it. This is a very dangerous mindset that many Muslims have. Though there are many Muslim men who don't want to marry children, some of them would rather do good things that the Prophet did. But you still can't ignore what he did to Aisha. Huge problems arises when Muslims try to follow everything that the Prophet did, just because they view him as the perfect example of a perfect human being. For example, this is an 11-year-old girl from Afghanistan who got married to a man in his 40s. I feel really bad for her, and I often wonder where she is now. Unfortunately, she is probably still with him. Here is another example. This is an image of a Nigerian Muslim family. Though this man probably didn't marry a little kid like his prophet. He has 4 wives and more than 20 kids. If the limit of women that Muslim men could marry wasn't 4, then this man would no doubt have more. Probably the same number of wives as the prophet had, which was 11. Imagine taking care of so many children. They wouldn't get enough attention needed, as their father would need to work hard to be able to feed them, and their mothers might not be able to handle so many children. So you see, Islam is pretty much unsuitable for the 21st century, and should be left behind in the past. But Muslims are constantly trying to take us back to 7th century Arabia, with dumb politicians bringing them in their own country. Anyway, these are the arguments I often hear from Muslims about Prophet Muhammad's marriage with Aisha. That's all I've got to say in this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, so you can help me on my journey of leaving this Muslim country, by helping me gain enough money from my YouTube videos. If you have any questions or video ideas, comment them down below. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.